everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for April 21st. I am excited to be going live with you all again. I'm not sure how this week went so fast though, but if you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello, and we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. April 21st, how is it already the end of April? I don't really know that for sure, but it is the end of April. Hi Carol, hi Patty, welcome ladies, as you're joining me. So I was just telling my husband as he was helping me get started tonight with my video that I can't believe it's like a week has already passed. I feel like I was just live with you all not too long ago. But then I remembered last night was my virtual party. So I know that some of you joined me for my virtual party. And so I'll talk to you a little bit about that here in a couple of minutes. But so maybe that's why I feel like I was just live with you, because I kind of just was. Anyway, but hello to Patty and Carol, two Carols joining us so far, and Shelby. Welcome everyone to our Facebook Live for the week of April 21st. I hope that you all had a wonderful Easter. I know that we sure did. We did, got up and went to our Easter church service at 7:30 in the morning, and then our youth puts on an Easter breakfast. So we had Easter breakfast that my girls had to help with. And then my husband did a lot of the cooking for it. And then it was come home and take a nap. And then it was cook, and we had my son and his wife and my granddaughter over in the evening for a roast that we had made for us. So it was kind of a nice, relaxing Easter for us. The girls put together a little basket for Chloe, their niece, and my granddaughter. So it was kind of fun to see those roles change, where we used to give them Easter baskets, and now they're putting one together for their niece. So it was kind of fun. So anyway, hello to Diane and Maureen. Welcome to both of you tonight. So glad to have so many of you live here with me. As I mentioned, the week has just flown by. Okay, so a couple other things in the way of announcements that I want to make sure you guys know. I'm going to start by saying that today is free shipping. Woohoo! Stampin' Up! Announced just a couple days ago that it's free shipping on any order over $75. So I know it's still a pretty big order that has to go in, but you save that 11% or that minimum $7.95. So I kind of look at it like you're actually getting a discount on the product because you're not paying the shipping. So if there are things that you wanted or need, that's a good time to get it with the free shipping. I know I've got a couple of you that have given me your orders. I'll be getting those in after my live tonight. And then I wanted to also mention my virtual party. So some of you watched my virtual party last night. There's a separate Facebook group that I did that virtual party in. And that virtual party, I posted it many times on my page and right here in this group as well. So, but it was, you can still participate. You have until Sunday night to participate. No, I think it's a week. I did it for a week. But anybody who puts in a minimum $50 order gets, and so it's kind of my ordering promotion for tonight. It's in conjunction with my virtual party. Anyone who puts in that minimum order, you're going to go into the drawing for prizes. And I had 3 awesome prizes that I did this time. I haven't done a virtual party in 9 months, so I thought, why not go big? So anybody who puts in that minimum order gets their name into my drawing. First prize is a $100 shopping spree for Stampin' Up! Product. The second one is a free bundle of your choice out of, and you can wait for the new catalog to go live if you want, but a new bundle valued at up to $55. And then the third one is a stamp set. And then there's other things you can do out there as well. I had games for you to post. I had fun little things like, what is a smell that you like that nobody else does? And if you comment on them, I just put everyone's name in a drawing to win a prize. And that is like a bolt of ribbon or rhinestones or something like that. So make sure you check out that virtual party page if you haven't yet. If you're interested in ordering, today would be a great day if you take your order to $75 to get that free shipping as well. I know a few of you have already taken advantage of that. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm starting to feel like as we're winding down on a couple of catalogs and waiting for a couple of that new catalog to come, I'm starting to struggle with what to share with you guys on a Facebook Live. But I chose one that is retiring because it's actually one that I think was overlooked in the catalog and one that I had a lot of fun creating with. And it's a great one for Mother's Day, which we have Mother's Day coming up right around the corner. So there's still time for you to order this bundle and to be able to create some of the awesome things you're going to see and how I used it here tonight. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to do our sharing. So those of you who might be new to my Facebook Live, what we do is if you share my video, make sure you comment that you shared. Your name gets put into the drawing to receive some prizes. And I have 2 prizes here that I am going to be giving away that from people who shared last time. So I have the Pebble Enamel Shapes. So Pebble Enamel Shapes are going to Kay Phelps. So congratulations to Kay. Yay, yay. And Kay, I see Kay. Kay's the Kay I talk about all the time. So Kay will get those when I see her next. And then the winner of the Holiday Rhinestones is Shelby Lavrack. So congratulations to Shelby. And I think I saw Shelby comment on here as well. So congratulations. Shelby, I'll get those out in the mail to you. Up for grabs this next week, I have an item that is I'm going to be giving away that you can't even buy anymore. It's sold out. So, and they're going to be a fan favorite, so make sure you share. It's the Rhinestone Waves Basic rhinestones. These rhinestones are sold out. You can no longer get them, but I had a couple extra packs, so I chose to put one in the drawing. So you can get a pack of these. I also have in the drawing a pack of the Artistry Blooms Adhesive Backed Sequins. So we will draw somebody for those 2 next week. And yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to make sure that I'm going to show you guys the cover of the awesome catalog. So some of you are starting to receive your catalog in the mail. Whoop, whoop, I'm glad. And I know some of you are still patiently waiting. I know that they are starting to hit your mailboxes because I've had a handful of you reach out to me and tell me that you have received those. If you do not get your catalog by middle to end of next week, let me know and I will get one out in the mail to you, okay? Because I want to make sure that you have your catalog by the time the catalog goes live. Or if you're local to the Mount Pleasant, Michigan area, I have a drop box now on my back porch. Yes, I have a drop box. But it's a box, it's a black box that I'm able to put stuff in that I could leave some out there if people wanted to be able to pick them up if you live local, okay, and you haven't gotten it in the mail. But even if you're local and you put in an order with me in the last year, you should still receive one because I sent them to a lot of you. Since a lot of you, I don't see a whole lot during the summer. I see more of you in the fall and some stuff like that. So anyway, but that's what the new catalog looks like. It's loaded full of stuff. Can't wait for you to see it. Hope those of you that have already seen it and received yours, that you're making your list because those catalogs go live on May 3rd, okay? All right, so we talked about the free shipping that's going on, and I talked about my virtual party. So that is, like I said, my ordering promotion. That virtual party, I have 3 prizes. The grand prize is a $100 shopping spree for Stampin' Up product. One's a $55 bundle, and one is a free stamp set. And if you those winners will be chosen on Sunday, April 28th, and I'll be posting them into that virtual party page and tagging everyone in there. So if you again, if you weren't part of my virtual party, I'll post the link in the description so you can go there and you can have fun. But you don't need to participate in all of that to be able to be put into the drawing. Okay, you'll still go into the drawing if you place that minimum order to win one of those 3 prizes, because that's kind of my promotion that I'm offering for this week. Okay, open classes. I have a new class that just opened, and I may have only even posted about it once so far, but it is the Abstract Beauty class, and it's really pretty cards using Abstract Beauty that is in our mini catalog right now. And then the other one that is still open is my Expressions of Friendship. So Expressions of Friendship is a stamp set that you can only get by being a host or putting in a $150 qualifying order. And what I do, so a lot of you know I use host codes. So when you all order on a host code, I can then use that host rewards. It's kind of what I use to reward all of you back when I give things on my Facebook Lives or when I do my virtual parties or things like that. So what I wanted to share with you is, I'm trying to find it real quick, so bear with me. But in the catalog, there are a couple of stamp sets that, maybe it's in the big catalog that I'm looking at these. But there are a couple of stamp sets that are just host only. Nope, here they are. That are just host only stamp sets, okay? One of them is called the Expressions of Friendship, and the other one is the Mischievous Mice. And I am offering classes with both of those where you get the stamp set for free by buying the class. And it's a limited number of stamp sets that I have. I need to put that up a little bit higher. You guys couldn't see it, but that's the expressions of ink. It's the little girl with the girl is swinging. So I have a class that's currently open for that. And my Mischievous Mice class will open up next month. But it's just it's a stamp set that you can't otherwise just purchase. And so I like to provide those as classes and as an incentive for you to kind of give back those to all of you. So I wanted to explain to you when you see those, if you're like, I haven't seen that stamp set in the catalog. No, you won't be able to order it unless you have a minimum $150 order. And then you earn what's called Stampin' Rewards. Or if you... yeah, that's kind of the only way you'd be able to get, or if you hosted a party. If you hosted a party and you had people that bought from you, and then you use your host rewards for that stamp set. So that class is open. The mice one is opening soon. The mice cards are adorable. I can't wait for you to see them. I've posted a couple of sneak peeks of those mice cards. But yeah, so like I said, that's a little bit of a way that I've been giving back to you guys through my classes and making sure you guys get stamp sets that are cute that you might not otherwise be able to get. All right, so let me see here what else I've got before we transition down to my stamp area. We talked about the new catalogs coming. We talked about free shipping. My virtual party, again, that was so fun. I'm so glad that some of you were able to join me live for that event. It was a fun event. I focused on the Kite Delight stamp set, which is totally something outside of my element that I designed with because I'm more of your... girly girl stamps and things like that. But it was fun designing those cards, and they were fun to make. I think everyone had a good time with that. Another thing I wanted to mention I'm going to be offering, and it's a work in progress, so bear with me, but I almost had the site up and running on my website, is I am going to be offering my tutorials for sale as a PDF document. I've been getting a lot of requests from other demonstrators who maybe want to just buy the tutorial and not actually purchase the whole class. And I wasn't sure I wanted to do that, but I'm finding that it's actually working a lot easier than I thought it would work. And so there'll be an option for you to be able to purchase those right off my website. And when you purchase them, it automatically emails you the document. I have a system set up that it will automatically email you that tutorial, and you'll just pay for it through PayPal. So it's going to be kind of a new offering. I'm hoping that by the middle of May, it's up and running fully and completely, and those tutorials will be available for you. And that kite one will be available there as well. And that kite tutorial, again, it will be going out tonight to any of those people that bought the Make and Take kit for my virtual party. So, yeah, I think it's exciting. A new little thing I'm going to try and see how it works. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area. I chose to share with you tonight the Dahlia Days Bundle. So I'm going to show it to you in a little bit more detail here in just a couple of minutes. But it is still available. At least it was as of this morning, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed because it is not carrying over into the new catalog. But I do think it's one that was kind of overlooked. And when I started playing with it, I had a lot of fun with it. So let's transition down and I'll show you some cute projects and things that you can do to use this great, awesome bundle. Okay, so let me just transition down here. And you're going to see a little sneak peek of some of the things. I need to adjust. My husband moved my stand a little bit when he got me started. Make a few adjustments, so bear with me here. Good help is hard to come by. I'm joking. I'll take any help I can get. Okay. So here's a little bit of a sneak peek of what you're going to be seeing. Hi, Gail, and welcome, welcome. So these are some of the things that you're going to be seeing and we're going to be working on. I'm going to move it all out of the way first. And the first thing we're going to do is talk about the bundle itself, okay? So again, this bundle is in and I had the page all set, and then I went and changed it when I got out the catalog to show you where that, oh, here it is. Okay. So this is the Dahlia Days Bundle. Again, I think it was one that was kind of hidden in our catalog. This bundle sells for $55.75, and it includes some awesome dies, which you're going to see me use here in just a couple of minutes, and then the coordinating stamp set here as well. Okay. Courtney recognizes the box. I know it. I'm on a box kick, right? So anyway, oh, and Philomena, yes, my nails. I got to tell you guys, this is a true story. I just got my nails done today. And I told my nail tech that I really, really enjoyed the purple that I had last time, the light lilac purple. And normally I'm not a color person. I go more for the pinks and the things like that. But I told him that I really enjoyed that that lilac I had. And I said, I'm really thinking about going with another one that is kind of spring themed. They're spring colored. He goes, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you think like a nice pretty yellow would work great? And he went, well, look at this. You're in luck. And the person that he must have had right before me or earlier that day used yellow and he hadn't put it away yet. And this is the yellow that they used. And I went, let's just do it. So anyway, this is the funny story. So my husband comes down to help me get started for my Facebook Live because he pushes the start button so I don't have to get up and walk back around. And he looks at my nails and he looks at my nails again. And he goes, I'm not sure I like that yellow. And he normally is not one to say anything about my nails, so I thought it was kind of funny. I chuckled. I'm like, oh, I like it. It's got little bumblebees on it. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of funny that he actually noticed. He looked and he looked again. All right, so these dies, this one right here is probably one of my favorite because this, when you see it on the cards, it just really pops out of that really nice and looks so awesome together. And then all of these little sentiments will fit inside of this. So you have To an Amazing Woman, which is one of these cards is going to be for my mom for Mother's Day. And then you have, the neat thing I like about this is that they gave us 2 of these this time to be able to cut out this flower right here. So many times you only get one. So this way you could stamp a couple of them and you could punch out 2 at a time. And then you have this die right here, which is an overlay. And the overlay for this, the flowers, the dahlia flowers, fit right underneath of here perfectly. So again, you're going to see me, and so would these little ones right here, these little stamped images. Now, these don't have any dies for them. Oh, wait, they do. I'm lying to you. I didn't turn this over. So you have more dies back here. Sorry. All these little ones have dies. You can see I didn't use all of them. But so you could actually layer a bunch of flowers underneath of this overlay. And my goal was to try to make this overlay and use it in vellum, and I didn't have the time to do that. But you're going to see where I used it using basic white, and it's a beautiful, beautiful overlay. Okay, so again, this bundle is $52.75 or $55.75. So this bundle, if you really liked it and you purchased it, would put you in my drawing for my prizes in conjunction with my virtual party. So, but you need to add a little bit more to that to be able to get the free shipping that Stampin' Up! Is offering. That order has to be $75. Okay. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you is when Courtney says she recognizes the box. I did a box with them last night using the kite stuff. And I had from the virtual party that I did last night. And I had the box that I made on the video with them was just sitting here. I hadn't decorated it yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how cute is that to make your mom for Mother's Day a little treat or something? These boxes have become one of my favorites right now. And they are carrying over. These boxes are in our Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. They're carrying over into our new catalog. I think they're $10 for like 10 boxes or yeah. So it's like $1 a box. But look how quick and simple and easy it is to decorate one up. I mean, like that is nothing at all to be able to decorate. I'm trying to find my kite one. Let me find my kite one real quick. Here we go. This is the one. This is the one that I did last night. So see, you could do the little kite one and decorate that up for like, your grandchildren or nieces, nephews, things like that. And then I decided to just take the one I made last night and decorate it up using this bundle. So all I did is I kind of cut out the 3 flowers, stamped them, and this I used the Bumblebee, I used Blushing Bride, and then the Calypso Coral with Misty Moonlight, cut them out and added one of our little genial gems to all of them. And these boxes are perfect for like putting cookies in them. I'm looking for like little mini notebooks and a pen. How cute would that be to put a little mini notebook and a pen in there? So many different things that you can do that you could put inside this box to kind of give this as a, and if you wanted to make a card that coordinated, so like in this case, this card would coordinate. You could give a coordinating card with the box and give it as a little gift. Okay, so that's how easy it was to make this one right here. So since I showed you this card, we are going to start with this one. I also wanted to mention, this is the host code that I'm also using for my virtual party. So if you order, if you go to kimsbasementbunch.com and you use this host code, you will get entered into the drawing. If your order is $50 minimally, you will get into the drawing for those 3 prizes that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so for this one, I wanted to kind of, doesn't this one spring just kind of scream spring? And it matches my nails, right? Okay, so for this first card, I chose to pair this bundle with the hand-penned designer series paper that is in our annual catalog. I always kind of like to have a designer series paper that I focus on and use with it. And I just thought that it kind of matched the paper kind of nice, and I just really liked it. So for this one, I chose to use So Saffron, and I'm backwards. I need to move this over here. I'm a creature of habit. I got to get my cord out of the view. I know it. Little things like that drive me crazy when I watch them later. So Saffron is my card base. And then I have a layer of the Blushing Bride that is 5 by 5¼ by 4¼ and then the Mint Macaron that is 5 by 3¾ Again, lots of layering, but by doing so, it really brings out the colors in this designer series paper. Can you see how it just pops the Mint Macaron and it pops the Blushing Bride? And then I also added this little yellow one down here on the bottom. It just kind of pops it all together. So we're going to just start doing some adhering together. Again, the layers just make it. I feel like the more layers, the better. And it just kind of coordinates. Oh my goodness, dimensional backings everywhere. And I will tell you, I clean up my workspace after every single Facebook Live or online event that I do. So sometimes I think that they just reappear. I don't know about you if you have problems with that, but sometimes I totally feel like my all my dimensional backings just reappear. They just jump out of the trash and jump back on my table. All right, and then we're going to, from here, adhere this. These two pieces are cut 3½ by 2¼ And usually what I do when I do these kind of cards is I add some kind of ribbon or something along the middle. But this time I chose to just add some designer series paper. So we're going to put that at the top. Again, you want to leave it so you have that border edge that you can see there. And so this is the same piece of paper. I'm just using it. The top has one design and the bottom has the other. And I'm just going to adhere that on there like that. And then I cut a 3/4 inch piece of designer series paper. And that's just going to be put right across here to kind of combine the two. Ties in completely that Mint Macaron layer. So do you see kind of how I layer that together? How I kind of come up with my patterns and how I blend them all? So I just was kind of like, okay, I didn't bring in that Mint Macaron. This is just going to pull it in. And that's exactly kind of what it does. Then from there, I cut a couple little squares. And I believe this one is 2½ by 2½, then 2¼ by 2¼ And those two I just adhered together. And then I put the whole thing on with dimensionals. So this is, again, Blushing Bride, Basic White. And wasn't that card gorgeous? So what I'm thinking about doing for the month of May, I got to tell you what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about mailing my mom a card every single week and giving her, inside of it, one thing about her that, that I admire, that I love, and using a bunch of these cards because so many of these cards are right up her alley. And, they say, to an incredible woman and all that awesome stuff. So I was thinking that would be kind of a cool thing to do. Although she might be like, why did you do that? You didn't have to do that because that's so my mom. But I thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to do. Who doesn't like to get cards in the mail, right? Okay, so then in advance, I did all my stamping in advance because I didn't want to have my machine over here. But thank you, Janet. Yeah, Shireen, don't they match? Isn't that great? I mean, like I said, and like Matt was like, you have yellow nails. Yep, I have yellow nails. I've never done yellow. I'm kind of getting outside of my comfort zone here, you guys, with what I'm doing. All right, so these are just, again, the stamped image from the Dahlia stamp set. It's the main stamp that I think, anyway, one of the main stamps. It's this one right here. And I just stamped it in the color, cut it out with a coordinating die. And the neat thing is because there's two dies like this, you can cut them both out at the same time. So it saved me a ton of time. And then I just kind of layered these on here like that. And then in advance, I used our bow punch. Now our bow punch is carrying over. And it's one of those punches that it punches out these two shapes at the same time. And so I just stuck one of them up here and one of them down in here like this. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to it. They're not completely glued down. You can see I like to leave those things up for dimension And plus it just takes a lot more time to sit there and have to glue those all down. So we're just going to put that on there like that. And then the other one I'm going to add in here like this. Kind of fills in that white space just a little bit, right? And then the final thing that I have is I stamped the "You Are Beyond Incredible." So this would be a good little card for me to write a little note about why I think my mom's incredible. What is something that she's done or I've learned from her, that kind of thing. But I put them, so this is a 1 inch by 1.5. This is a 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. So they're going to just pair together perfectly. So I'm going to adhere those together. And then I added this to the bottom with dimensionals. And I did stamp using the Mint Macron on here. So I probably should have moved this up a little bit higher, but it'll work still. And so we're going to add a couple of dimensionals. Hello, Chris, and welcome, welcome. So we're going to add those on there to that like that. And then I'm just going to stick this. It'll be a tight fit, but it'll work on here like that. So, and if I want to, I can go back and move that up later. But anyway, you get the idea. Isn't that a beautiful card? So, so pretty. The final thing I did is I topped it off with some of the Genial Gems. I think these Genial Gems are a perfect fit to go with our hand-penned designer series paper. I just loved it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to center these. I'm going to put one of the clear ones in the center of the flowers. It just gives it a little bit of a little boost. And then I added some of the Mint Macron colored ones down here to the bottom of my card like this. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. All right, so that is card number 1. And it's so springy, so pretty. I really like that one. Okay. So the next card that I'm going to share with you is how to use that overlay that I showed you earlier in the die cuts. So I created this card right here. And you can see that I didn't completely adhere down the entire die cut piece, but you can see how I layered a couple of flowers underneath of that. So for this card, I used a basic white card base that is 5.5 by 8.5. And so this is my card base. And then I cut a piece of the designer series paper. Again, I used that hand penned, but I cut my designer series paper big enough to cover the entire front of my card. So I chose to use the same one that I used for that little strip on this card. But this time I'm running it the other way. So it's the same paper. Okay. Hi, Karen, and welcome. And then I cut this the exact same size. So this is cut 5 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it's going to fit on here perfectly. So we're going to adhere that down onto the card first. Now, when you do cut your card the same size, there are times that it might go over just a little bit. So when I put the paper down on a card base like this, I like to actually lay the card base flat and kind of line it up at the end here really good, because then I can fold it. And if I am indeed over a little bit, because sometimes you can't get that right perfect, it's easy to then just kind of trim this off, okay? So I guess you have to move that from the scissors first. So then you just kind of trim it off along the fold line of your card. And usually it might just be a smudge it over. Okay, so that is kind of what I do with that. But then you have a really good, it's on there nice and straight, and you then can cut off around any of the other areas that you need to. Okay, isn't this a cool one? I know, I love it. All right, so this is how this die then works. I cut this out using the basic white, okay? Basic white, cut this out. And then you adhere it down to the card. But you can see underneath here that you have a spot for these flowers to line up perfectly. So what I did is I actually adhered my flowers to the back of this first. So again, it lines up perfectly. You may have to play with it a little bit to find it where the lineup is. But they do line up perfectly. You can see in my sample here, they do. So it just takes a little bit of time to figure that out if you want them to line up perfectly. But they do, again, because Stampin' Up! Does all that coordination for us. There, I think I had it. Oh, maybe not. I'm not going to probably take the time to actually do that, but they do line up perfectly. I just don't want you guys sitting there watching me play with it forever. But I added just a little bit of adhesive to the back ends of these, okay? And then these will adhere to the back. So I'm just going to line it up the best I can and go with it for my video tonight so that you guys aren't waiting here forever. There we go. And then this one will do the exact same thing. It does line up perfect. Again, I'm not taking the time to do it perfect. I'll probably come back and finish this one later anyway. And then I adhered this down to my card using my liquid glue, okay? But I'm here to tell you, you can see they do line up perfectly. You just got to play with it a little bit, okay? Isn't that gorgeous? So, so, so pretty. Okay. And then this I just adhered down to my card base like that. I mean, how easy is this card, right? I mean, there's not much to it. You can see it's just got a few little things in it. Couple stamped images. I then did thank you for your kindness on this one. So this is that one that I showed you. You cut, you stamp it. It's right here. All those different sentiments fit in it. So this time I did the thank you for your kindness. And then I stamped it, the actual stamp this using Bumblebee. And my image is, my stamped image in the middle here, stamped sentiment is done in the Calypso Coral. So you can change that up. You don't have to use the same one. And then that was just adhered down to the bottom here with some dimensionals. And my final step was adding some of those genial gems to the the card right here in the middle of the flowers. I added one to the middle of these little flowers as well. Now, if you really wanted to get creative and take a lot of time, you could also stamp other flowers and put them in here as well that are in your stamp set. Okay, a lot of them all coordinate to go underneath that die. Isn't that a neat thing? Again, the coordination, right? Stampin' Up! Makes this coordination in products so easy for us to be able to make beautiful things and with just a little bit of stamping and die cutting. Okay, so I'm going to actually finish that one later because I do want to take the time. It'll drive me nuts if I don't take the time and line them up perfect. So we're just going to use this one for purposes of showing you how awesome it looks. But that's kind of how I did that. Isn't that pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so moving right along. Let me find my next card here that I have for you. Oh, this one. Let's go with this one. Okay, so this is the next card that I want to share with you. And this card, I actually designed and stamped, I should say, what I call my own designer series paper, so to speak. This is all just stamped. I wanted to showcase a way in which I could showcase the other stamps in this stamp set. So you can see here you have little leaves, you have these little flowers, you have these little flowers. So I wanted to showcase a way that you could use them. Yes, they do, Marilyn. My nails do match. In a way that you could use them on a card. So that is what I did for this one. So let's start with putting this together with the card base. My card base on this one is 5.5 by 8.5. And I stuck with that same designer series paper, I think on all of my cards. Well, one of them I didn't. One of them I didn't use any designer paper on. But I really liked it paired with this. So I used a layer of the pale papaya, that's 5.25 by 4, followed by a full piece of that designer series paper, okay? So again, it just makes that pop, right? Thank you, Carol. I'm glad you like it. And thank you, Philomena. All right, so these I'm just gonna adhere down. Now for this card, I did use some of that pale papaya ribbon, but before I do that, I added a little bit more designer series paper to it. I added a strip of this is a 1.5 by 5, and this is on 1 3/4 by 5. So I just adhered these two together. And that's exactly it, Marilyn. So many of our Stampin' Up's bundles, I think, you struggle with until you see them in use. And this one I was on the fence with, but I liked it for the Mother's Day sentiments and all that awesomeness that you can use it for. So that's kind of why I go overboard on my mom when it comes to Mother's Day and sending her cards and getting her stuff and spoiling her. And I know it's because my dad has, passed away a number of years ago, and I just enjoy having her here with me yet and like to be able to do that for her. So this month, like I said, I mentioned earlier, for those of you that might be late joining, the month of May, my goal is to send her a card, one a week, and with a little note inside of different things that I love about her or appreciate, or thanks for showing me XYZ or something like that. But I know she'll be like, well, you didn't have to do that, because that's what she usually says. That's her way of thanking me, I think. And then she does still thank me, but a lot of times she'll do that. Well, you didn't have to do that, but I know she's appreciated it. All right, so I added that little piece of pale papaya ribbon around there, and then we're going to just add a little piece on it to tie it off here. Because I like this ribbon, and it just kind of makes it, I think, look really, really pretty. Okay, and then we're just going to snip off of our little tails here, the little ends. Okay, so then what I did is I took a piece, you got that, Marcia, that's kind of what I do. Yep, I learned that with my dad when he passed so young. I'm going to make sure I take care of my mom. Okay, so this is a piece of just basic white cardstock, and literally I stamped on it with those 3 images that I showed you. So I used the Misty Moonlight for the blue. I used Mint Macron for the green, and I used Pale Papaya for the little 3. That's all together one stamp, okay? And I just stamped mix and match. So this one's probably not even going to match this one. Well, kind of does a little bit, but not really. And then I cut a piece of the Misty Moonlight 1/4 of an inch bigger. And we're just going to adhere those 2 together. So that is kind of my focal point. Just a bunch of little flowers that I stamped, okay? That is then going to go on our card with some dimensionals. Now, I do also know that I had this class, I think it might even still be open as an option to purchase. They will be shipping out next week. So any of you that are part of my creative card club or that had just purchased this class on its own, those will be going out next Wednesday. Okay, so just so you know, usually those go out the end of the week. Sometimes we get them out a little bit sooner if it is like a holiday weekend or something like that. We get them out sooner. So if you purchase this, please know we didn't forget about you. They will be going out soon. And then this one here, I'd stamped To an Amazing Woman on it. So again, it's that same, but look at that little flower. It matches, so that flower matches like, you know, all of those. I love it. So pretty. We're going to put dimensionals on that as well. I do, Courtney. I do like my layers. You are right. Here's my thing though. Like I have all this designer series paper. I need to use it. Like what are you gonna use it on if you just have it stashed in your totes, right? And I always look at it this way. Stampin' Up has never failed us. Yes, I've been sad before when they get rid of some of my favorite paper or favorite whatever, but they've never failed me with coming out with more stuff. And then I could buy more. So anyway, but that is my card for that one. Again, To an Amazing Woman, and then you can do your little stamping on the inside or whatever. So that'll probably be one that I send her as well. But isn't that pretty? So just a little bit of a different take on how you can use the stamp set without your focal point being the big and main Dahlia. I find these 2 to be kind of your main focal ones. But yeah, I like that card. Thank you, guys. Okay. This next one, though, is probably my favorite. What I like about this one is the simplicity of it, but yet how beautiful it is, okay? Ta-da! Is that not a gorgeous card? Okay, so this card, again, I always try to find different ways that I can show you how to use things and do things. So I'm off-centered a little bit, and I don't like that. Okay. There we go. I think I'm back to being centered again. So what I did on this card is I used 3 different colors of ink. But did I use 3? 1, 2, 4. I used 4 different colors of ink. I used Calypso Coral, Mint Macron, Bumblebee, and then I used the Blushing Bride ink. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece. I started with a piece of the Very Vanilla cardstock, layered it with the Calypso Coral, and then I have another piece of the Very Vanilla. So, oh, thank you, Nancy. So what I did with the Very Vanilla is I started doing some stamping, okay? So I just stamped directly onto the Very Vanilla, and I just added, I wanted 2 focal points here. I knew I wanted to add this in the middle, so you can kind of see it. Those are all the same color. And then I added just some of those little flowers. Again, those are the same little flowers that I used on here. And then did the same thing with the leaves, okay? Some of the leaves are on completely. Some I just did the edges, however you want to do it. Now, after you stamp it all, I then ran it through my Big Shot with the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. This embossing folder is going away. But that little bit of texture, look what it did to the stamping and to the, it just gives it, I don't know if you can see it on my camera very well, but it just gives it a little bit of definition and character. So any of the things that whenever you do stamping on a piece of cardstock, you can always run it through your Stamp and Emboss die cut machine, your Big Shot, whatever it is you may use, and it will give you a beautifully different look. Okay, but look at the simplicity of this card. So literally all I'm going to do now is, this is a 5 by 3 3/4. This is a 5 1/4 by 4. And so I'm literally going to adhere these two together. And am I really out of adhesive? No. Whew. I was going to say, I don't think I'm out of adhesive. It better not be. I don't have one sitting here. All right. And then I used my, my main card base is the Very Vanilla. So you can see that layer, again, there's my layer, Courtney. My layer pops this right up. Can you see that? Look at that layer. That layer of Calypso Coral just pops this card and brings it to life. So I'm close to being out, but I think I'll be good. I just need to use it more sparingly. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this down to my card base, okay? For this card, I chose to use the ribbon that is called the Fine, I think it's called Fine Art ribbon, maybe. Yeah, Fine Art ribbon. And I did my little typical zigzag pattern. So if any of you struggle with that and you are new to watching me, I think I'm going to give you a really good, easy, simple way to do this. So I added adhesive to the middle of the card, okay? And then all you're going to do is you're going to lay one of these down, and it's going to stick right to the middle. So you can see it's not stuck all the way down. You're going to stick it right down to the middle. And make sure that you have enough of this on your spool unraveled, okay, so you can work with it. Then depending on how long you want, you just put your finger in there and loop it up, okay, and you hold it there. And then right next to it, I'm going to put this one down again, so it's going to stick. Now, it will eventually lay flat, okay, like this isn't laying very flat, it will, trust me. And then wherever you want that loop to be, so usually I want it to be about the same length, and you don't want to go down right on top of where you just came. You want to go down a little bit at a zigzag off to the next side. So I'm just going to fold it over, and then I'm going to adhere this one down here. It's okay if it's a little crooked, no one's going to see that. And then you just trim this one off kind of even with your other loop. Okay? That's how easy that is to do. And if they're too long, you can always go back and trim them up a little bit later. So I might actually trim this one, just a smudge. You just want to make sure when you're trimming these that you don't accidentally cut your loop. Done that before, because then you're going to have just pieces sitting there. It still looks fine, but you know, it might not be quite the look that you had hoped for. And then I just took, so again, you're going to have, most of that stickiness is going to be covered up. Okay, there might be a little bit, not much. But I always put the adhesive where you're going to cover up, because normally whenever I do this little zigzag pattern, I always have something that I'm going to put in place in the middle. And so that is why I always make sure that I put the adhesive where I'm going to be able to cover it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this to an Amazing Woman with some dimensionals. And I'm going to actually use my little edges because I am an edge user and I don't want to waste them. So I'm just going to put, we'll do 3 on this one. Hi, Susie, and welcome. And thank you, Luann. Yeah, this one is definitely, I think, one of my favorites. I liked the simplicity of it. And I love to stamp. So for me, if I was going to be making a bunch of these cards, this is so up my alley. It would be so easy for me to sit there. So like if I was going to make, let's just say 30 of this card, I would stamp all of the Calypso Coral ones first. And then I would stamp all of the, you know, the greenery or whatever. But yeah, and then I topped it off. Oh, and I forgot on this card. I also topped this card off, the little flowers, with some of those genial gems. Totally forgot to mention that until I went to see this one. So I did the same thing with this one with the genial gems. I'm going to add, I reached for my scissors and I'm correcting myself. I'm going to add a little, even though you can't really see it because my loop-de-loop's kind of bigger on this one than it is on this one. I'm still going to add a little genial gem to the center of the flowers, and I'll add one to the center of this little flower too. Isn't that gorgeous? So simple. Now you could use this template or this design and make so many different colors of these. You could incorporate making them in two-tone purple. What you could do instead of using the Calypso Coral, you could use Highland Heather. Then you could use Gorgeous Grape. You could do Fresh Freesia. You could do, I mean, there's so many different different ways that you could incorporate and make this card into so many different colors, just changing out your color, your main focal color. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that one as well. That one was a fun one to do. Okay, so my final card that I have for you tonight, again, uses that same designer series paper. And I just wanted, again, to show you to kind of make your own designer series paper and just doing some stamping. So again, sometimes, oh, you guys, I love all those hearts. Sometimes I don't want to have to sit at my Big Shot or at my Stampin' Boss die cut machine and cut and cut and cut and cut and crank. I want a card to just be simplistic, to have the simplicity look to it, but yet beautiful. And that is, I think, what I love about this one. So for this one, I did the same thing. I just did some simple stamping. I'm using Blushing Bride. I stamped my little flower, added some leaves, and I even stamped my little sentiment right in the middle. The colors that I chose to use on this one is the Mint Macaron for the card base, and then I paired it together with the Garden Green and, of course, the basic white. I used some more of that same little ribbon. And I love how this turned out. Topped it off, since I used the Garden Green and the green on this, I used the little Genial Gems that are green on this card. So let's go ahead and put this one together, and I'll tell you some of the measurements as well for this. So for this one, I used a Mint Macaron, the 5.5 by 8.5 for my card base. And then I used a layer of Garden Green. Garden Green is cut 5 1/4 by 4. And then my other green piece, again, it's the same paper. I just used the more simple pattern to it. This is 5 by 3 3/4. And, or yeah, 5 1/4 by 4, 5 by 3 3/4. And I just adhered these two together. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. And then I adhered those down to the card. Thank you, Susie. These cards, like I said, this bundle, I think, was completely an overlooked bundle. And one that I just love once you start playing with it. I then did a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 Garden Green piece. So the piece I did all my stamping on is 4 by 3. And you can see that I did all that awesome stamping on it. I'm going to adhere these two together. And then I did wrap some ribbon around here before I adhered this down to my card. So let me bring in my, again, using that fine art floral ribbon. I added it down underneath the sentiment, so I'm just going to cut a piece of that here. Add some adhesive down here. Wrap that around. As I'm finishing up for tonight, I'm trying to remember what I have in store for you all next week. I don't have my agenda down here because I plan my Facebook Lives usually a good 2 to 3 weeks out. I'm trying to remember what bundle I chose to use next week. Because I was going to give you a little sneak peek of it, but I can't even remember what I was going to do now. So who knows? I might even be using new stuff. I don't know. I do have some new classes already designed from the new catalog. I've got 3 different things that I've played with. I showed my virtual party players last night a little sneak peek of some cards that I created, which I think are still sitting over here waiting for me to take pictures of them. I have a little, what's called a light box that I take pictures of my cards in so that they're really good quality for you guys to be able to see them, and they look really nice. And I have them sitting in there. So I might go over and grab a couple of them to show you. I was playing with the Nature's Prints stamp set and coordinating products. And I do have, I think, some of those cards done that I could share with you, or at least let you see a sneak peek. How's that? Okay, and then we're just going to trim that off. And voila, that's the card. How simple is that? So before I show you the sneak peek, because I'm assuming you guys are going to want to see the sneak peek, I got to put the Genial Gems on. Got to put They Just Make the Card, because I did those in green. Did those in green right in the centers. Whoops. Then they go flying. That's okay. Just kind of makes the card, right? Very, very pretty. Okay, so before I say take these to the side and bring in the other ones, I'm just going to bring them all in so you can see them again. Any of you that maybe joined a little bit late, you can see some of the cards. You can go back and watch on replay if you need to for some of the ideas and things that I did here with you tonight. But these were so fun to do. And so a neat way to use this bundle. Again, these boxes have become my friend. I used it with my kite virtual party last night. This is the kite version that I shared with them for making a cute little box for juvenile, boys, girls, whatever. And this I'm going to put something fun in to give it to my mom. I'll probably give my mom something in this box with one of the card and mail the other ones out, but they're all going to be the same template. That's kind of what I decided, or the same style that I did. Diane, you like the green one the best? Yeah, I think my favorite is still this one. I don't know why. There's just something about that one that I just happen to really like. So again, just so you guys know, my ordering incentive for this week, I did a virtual party last night. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure that you do. Or if you don't want to check it out, it's okay. If you just order and use this host code from now through April 28th, you get into the drawing. I'm doing giveaways of a $100 shopping spree to one lucky winner, a $55 bundle to one person, bundle of your choice, and the third prize is a free stamp set up to $25 of your choice. So that is my little ordering promotion. But let me go get now, if you guys want to see the little sneak peek. All right, let me show you the cards that I created using the Nature's Prints. So I'm not going to go over them in too much detail because you're probably eventually going to see these show up somewhere. But look at how pretty these are. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? And this is beautiful paper. This paper is called Sun Prints, I do believe. I still don't have all of the names memorized of everything. But these are some cards that I created using new stuff. If you like the color blue, you will love this product suite. I don't know why I keep gravitating to the left tonight on all of you. I apologize. So hopefully they're back in view and you guys can see them. So thank you. I'm glad that you guys like them. They're so fun and I can't wait to share more awesome things with you out of that brand new catalog. All right. Thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. I really appreciate it. And I'll be posting what my presentation is next week. I usually always post it around Monday of the new week. And I look forward to seeing you all back here then. So any questions, if any of you are looking at doing an order or you'd prefer to have me put your order in for you, just message me. Happy to do that for you. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful week and wonderful weekend. Bye.